Welcome back, everybody, here to another episode of Gregtech Community Edition Modern. Started at night here just because I forgot to go sleep because I was checking up on stuff, making sure everything was working. But as you can see, there is a little bit different here at the factory. I've kind of fully closed on in the back, and then there's this big long pipe. I ended up in my off time deciding I needed to set up that thing to automatically ship back. So I ended up setting up these long distance pipes, which have an entrance and an exit and can be used to send items across great distances. Place one endpoint at each end and connect them with pipe blocks. These pipes instantly transfer from one input side to the output, however they do have a minimum distance between pipe endpoints, so you can't use these in short-range operations. So, this pipe goes all the way downstairs into our brand new ore setup here. So, it'll come down into this chest, filter into here. As you can see, we've got plenty of ores coming in already that I've been processing in the meantime, into our grinder, which then goes into our system of it'll decide which area it is off of some of the different faces I've got. So all the way out here I've got a distillery that's pumping water, distilled water into here to help with the processing speed on those washers. I currently only have 3 of these set up because the other one's still upstairs processing the last of its stuff before I move it down. But if I look at this, you'll see that I have it say that it needs to have all crushed ores. I don't know if the wild card needs to be there. I'm guessing not because I don't have anything in here. And all purified ores are going into this except for not siftables, which kind of ended up giving me a slowdown because there's coal in there. But we do have siftables. I think that just needs to be changed to siftables. We'll do wild card just in case. Siftables. Because, yeah, we got a bunch of stuff I don't want in here. But that's fine, because that clears out the stone dust. Because the only other thing we've got going right now is that this takes 10 seconds to do, will always yield a stone dust, and I am centrifuging stone dust. However, these take 25 or 24 seconds apiece, which means that these will slowly stack back up as I'm not paying attention to them. So, which again, that's fine. It just helps keep it run a little bit longer. I could just completely discard it. I don't really want to, so I'm not going to. As the juicy materials you get from some of this stuff give you manganese. So this one here will give me potassium, magnesium, and aluminum, and silicone, and then even give me fluorine, which is something that you'll need later. I don't remember what for, but I'm going to need it, so I really do want it. I also added a couple other things up here. Been sifting coal since coal went through that machine process and can't go through it. I made a little brewery up here to make lubricant in to keep funding my saw. And I did process a bunch of diamond ore and get a diamond lens, which helped us get the lens that helps us make these CPU wafers. And I got a bunch of them all prepped up because pretty soon we're going to get into something that needs a ton of those. So I'll just leave those in the saw, let them do their thing. Because look at that, 45 seconds even with lubricant. That is a wild processing time. However, in the meantime, we are going to do some more plastics. Because the first thing I want to get done is making some super tanks. However, to make these super tanks, we need 8 aluminum and 1 large polyvinyl chloride item pipe. So to make this, we're going to need to get an extruder with some polyvinyl chloride ingots. And to get those, you clearly need to fluid solidify some polyvinyl chloride So, to make that, we need vinyl chloride. And we're going to do the oxygen recipe as it yields extra anyways. But to get that, we need to combine chlorine and ethylene, which will yield us hydrochloric acid and vinyl chloride. So, let's make sure we got some in here. We have that. We'll leave that there. So how much of it was it that it needed to make the vinyl chloride? So we needed 1 full bucket per bucket of that stuff. So we are probably going to have to empty that out, but let's go get some of our chlorine that we have over here. So I know we've got some we can dump on into there. Looks like we can make 4 crafts of it with what I currently have in there. I might have some chlorine somewhere else. It doesn't look like it. Move this out of here into our fluorine. And then we do want to go grab 1 more of this. Currently, we don't have that pumping in there, unfortunately. So I do want to pull out of here so this can keep going. But I need to get another pump to be able to do that. Otherwise, I just let the diluted sulfuric acid sit in there and do nothing for me. Oh. Okay, that's a good thing. So we can go ahead and stop doing that. We're going to take out the 4 there. Now with the vinyl chloride, we can put that in there, take that out, and we will go find some oxygen. Looks like we got plenty in here. We can remove that to let that keep going. And also keep our aluminum going, as we've been getting tons of that with all the kyanite that I was able to start filtering down. And this will get us our polyvinyl chloride, as you can see there. Now, with that, I do want to find my ingot mold, because you cannot press sheets through the tube thing, which I have. So now we can go ahead and have... We don't want to put that in another machine. I don't know... Oh, I have a gold drum. Forgot that I made one of those. I am just going to have to figure out where I put it. Right there. Go ahead and stick our hydrochloric acid right on in there. And the cool thing is that we are going to need hydrochloric acid for stuff later, and this will be a better way to make it, because then we'll also get the polyvinyl chloride out of it, which now... Oh. Now we can have it eject automatically in over here, and we'll start getting our ingots. Once we have 6, we can do our very first large tube. Let's go get that ready over here. We're going to turn this off so we're not wasting power here in a second, because that will shut off when we start putting those in there. But now that we've got 18 so far, we can chuck those in here, and we'll get 3 of these large polyvinyl chloride item pipes. And with that, we stuff that closest crafting bench is over here. Don't mind the holes in the floor for now. We got 3 of our hermetic casings, and now coupled with the rest of what we got, we can make 3 super tanks. Which, this is kind of exciting, because I was having an issue collecting oxygen, and I'm hoping that, yeah, I can start collecting oxygen, or in this one's case, hydrogen out. Let's see, we don't have any in there. We got oxygen in there. It looks like we're clear everywhere else, but this allows us... So I can now also right-click to get all of that out of there, and now I've got 2 empty, free-to-use barrels if I need them. And we're storing the ones that we're going to get a lot of And the other one that I want to be able to store, for sure, is the nitrogen, as that's something we're going to need a lot, lots and lots of that. So, probably set something up with that at some point here. Right now it's not so big of a deal, but right there, got, like, to get through the kyanite, which I've been trying to get aluminum, and it gives me some silicone, produces way more oxygen than I have space for anywhere else. So it's nice to be able to have a place to start putting that. Oh, and this is even full, so we're... I can take my... Oh, don't fill it up. Dump it. My pickaxe out. Pick it up. So there is the storage solution we were kind of waiting for. We should have enough to make the last one now. And we'll make up that last one really quick. And then we'll get into our next thing that we needed to get done to progress towards the next thing we're working on. Kind of being a little bit secretive of it, even though once you see what I'm working on, it'll make a lot more sense. So, the next machine we're going to make here is this forming press. We got a forming press, and then we're going to need an autoclave as well. And this is kind of going back in tiers, for sure. But this is the bare minimum we need for these machines for what I'm going to be working on. So that's why I'm kind of backtracking to this stuff. That's got one machine on it. Considering I've got battery power over here, I think this is where I would like this all to come out of. Oh, I can put some oxygen in here to let that keep giving me some more vinyl chloride, which is nice. I think the autoclave, I guess it really doesn't matter too much. I guess one other thing I should have gotten on, which we could probably get started on now. So we're going to need some silicon ingots. So we got the forming press down, we got the basic autoclave. We'll get that put down too over here. And see if I can get something to fill that hole up over there so we're not dropping down there. That one's plugging. This hole is here because a light's going to go there at some point to help light downstairs up. But the reason... Oop, oh my goodness, if I can figure out how to do this properly. The reason that we're getting both of these machines is that we need them to start getting some of the stuff for ME systems. So I'm going to need silicone, I need these cables, I'm going to need the engineering press to press out a couple of these things. So we can go ahead and go get our engineering press that we have over here, and I think I have a couple diamond plates still. Looks like I got 2, which should satisfy my needs on that. I put them in one of the chests over here. There's our engineering, and then we're gonna have to have our silicone press. But we can grab out some silicone dust. I think a stack will do. Almost out of nitrogen there again. Gonna have to pull that out. Dump it on in. But taking that and putting it in our basic forming press, if I put in our press and our diamond plates, you'll see it'll process and give us the thing. Instead of watching that little animation from AE2, you use our forming press to make this. As I kind of have taken it out of the AE2 mechanics. Now to make the fluix crystals, we need quartz fiber and we need Certus quartz dust. Ooh, I don't know if I actually grabbed myself any of that. Let's look this up. Certus. I don't think I have any anywhere, which means I might have to run to the nether really quick. I know where a patch is, so we just gotta get there. It looks like that's exactly that. Yeah, I got netherite, or nether quartz, not netherite, but I forgot the Certus quartz, which I do have this. We can double click that. Check up on our map here, and it is all the way, not there. It's sulfur, nether Certus. So we got to go to the fortress that I found. I don't remember if I showed this on camera or not, but we found a fortress over here. Cleared out this area looking for those lights, because I do like the little glow light things that are there. If you guys know how to grow those trees, tell me in the comments section. I couldn't find any way to, like, figure out if those can even be grown or not, or if I have to go find each individual tree to get what I want. But we're almost there. Can't get down there. We can get down over here. So this is our regular quartz. I did come over here and get a bunch of this. But we need not quartzite or nether quartz. We need Certus quartz, which I hope is not... Oh, it is in the ceiling. Okay, well, it's a good thing that we're in the nether, and getting lots of blocks is really easy. So just go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And now we have lots of blocks already. I think a stack should be enough to get up there. Maybe. There, and it looks like there might be some down here, but I don't think that's the case. Yeah, there's the Certus quartz I'm looking for. So let's go up a bit. We're gonna go up, and then I don't think I'll mine down once I get up to where I was at. Do I have any other... I have no way of marking where I was at. That's not good. Oh yeah, I do a gold drum. We'll just place the gold drum down. And the gold drum. That way, I know where to leave. Oh no. Well, that's not good. We'll be back when I get back there. Oh no. You know, I'll give you a treat. We'll get back there with me trying to figure this out. We are going to need a pickaxe. It's one of the reasons I don't really love the nether. Oh, you know what we should have brought? I have plenty of iron downstairs. I'll just make an iron pickaxe. And then we need some blocks. They're over here. There we go. Offhand. And now we go to the nether. Oh boy, this is not something I was expecting to have to do this episode. But, you know. Should just make those fire-resistant potions. But I don't usually do much of anything in the nether, let alone go mining, so that was one thing that I didn't really particularly care when I heard about netherite change with newer Minecraft stuff. So I'm like, well, I don't really like going mining in the nether to begin with. So why would I care so much about that? I mean, even the nether quartz doesn't seem all that useful, considering the only thing it really helps you create that you might want outside of that is comparators. And is it comparators? I think that's it. And I never was really good at making too many redstone contraptions that use comparators. I always wanted to do more with it and figure out how it all worked, but could never really figure it out and didn't really care. I did try to do a bunch of different doors, and I got some pretty cool ones going early on when I first started playing Minecraft, but not like some of the junkies that can build whole computers or computer games with their knowledge. Although, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds really cool, and I've looked into like how computers work and stuff a whole lot more than I would ever have expected to do. Pick up our barrel, and then we will keep mining. This time with our thing out. That's quartzite, so we just want the nether quartz. Or sorry, Certus quartz, not nether quartz. Try to get as much of it as we can in this one go, because we're going to be using a lot once it comes down to it. But I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of mining. I'll be back a little bit afterwards. Alright, back again. Got some stuff put away. And I will plop down my lights that I wanted to plop down. We're going to go down below and get a couple more of them going, because I did have spots I wanted to put them. There, there, right there, for now. Probably add more down here in the future. Sorry, oxygen is going in there. But we are currently waiting on, hopefully, don't want those, getting those nether quartz, Certus quartz, sorry. Looks like those are pretty close to getting done. I am going to be setting aside those coal so that the siftables, Certus quartz can start getting sifted. So we're going to take this away, wait till that one's done, and swipe everything out of here. And we can start sifting the Certus quartz, as it'll be much better return on what we're looking to get out of that. Oh, don't want those there. Those are supposed to go over... Where did I start putting? Did I start putting them somewhere? I have no idea what I started doing with them, so we'll just put them in the chest here. Although, I don't like this order. Just like that. There we go. Okay. So, now we're going to start getting our Certus quartz dust, as well as the other different forms of it. Now, we do need that to make our Certus quartz stuff. So in our alloy smelter, we can smelt together Certus glass, which requires Certus quartz. So, again, we're just now waiting, basically, for our sifter to give us more of the Certus quartz. If we do level it up, we'd be getting higher ratios of everything, but I'm not going to worry about that right now, as I'm hoping to jump straight from this one to MV, or sorry, to HV in the future here. So I'm going to let this run for a second while we get some of those silicone plates, or silicone hopefully out of here. Make them into some plates, because that should satisfy what we need. If we take that to our forming press, we now have our engineering circuits. We can get our two backside ones, which then will allow us to make this craft up. So we need our low voltage circuits, fine tin wire, and then the resistors. And each craft will give us 4 of the engineering processors. The processors. Okay, so we'll need 2 of those. Tin wire, we don't... nope, not that. We need resistors. Which I think I might be out of. And that requires glue. I feel like I made some more of those. I guess not. So I'm gonna go grab the stuff, make a bit more of those really quick. We'll be back. We'll be back right after that. Well, I knew I made a ton of them, and I found them. They are in the chest over here. Went to go put away stuff to get it all out of the way, and then went, wait, what's this all in my chest here? So, right side, we are making some more glue. And I guess I'll just swap this out for that. The ash is down here. And we'll let that thing go. We are getting some of our Certus quartz in here, so that's pretty good. But we do need, so we needed our printed engineering. We needed our silicone. We needed 2 of these. 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, you know, if I would go to my circuit assembler, that would be right. So, boom, boom. 1, 2. And then we need tin, so let's go get the tin wire, and then the last part was circuits, which I believe I already grabbed. So that should make the amount we need for what we're making right now. So let's get that in there, get our circuits, and switch our wires over. And then we need to get those crystals. So let's go ahead and get this washed up. And then with this and some glass, we can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll start with just making one little batch right now to get the machines rolling. But we were just waiting for the fine tin wire. Chuck that on in there, and we get those started. First Certus quartz glass, and now 1 for 1, we'll get our quartz fiber cables. And it looks like that's the only recipe for these, but that'll get 8 of them. Now with our Certus quartz, I do have nether quartz sitting around here somewhere. Is it in here? It is indeed. Okay. We will dump this in here. Pull these out. Let's make a chest alone for Certus and nether quartz items. Or let's actually just plop them in here. So we got 1. We've got 2. 3. And 4. That's going to be our siftables. We'll take care of doing more of that later. But now we need redstone. So we only have 1 of the dust currently. So we'll grab that the 1. Let's go wash this up, I guess. You know what? I'm just going to crush it all. Just going to get them in the macerator, crush them up. Get them into the dust forms that we need. Wash this one up. That'll give us... How many we got here now? Got 10. And I think... What are we... Just 2? So we only need 4 of them right now. So we'll do 4. And we don't even need that much. We just need like that much. So... We'll do 4 crafts though, and then at least an LV mixer with some nether quartz dust. Looks like it doesn't have any other prerequisites. 4. got what we need there, so we'll go ahead and macerate those two. Not plant that, we'll pick up that, and I'll get these in a chest. Maybe. There we go. And the 4 nether quartz. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will get our very first fluix dust, which then, this is where the autoclave came from. So now we need to stick this in the autoclave with some, I think it doesn't matter which one except for speed. So we will be putting in distilled water, as I prefer it to just be faster for you guys, so you don't have to sit here forever watching these recipes tick away. And there is our very first fluix crystal. And now combining that in just a regular assembler, we can get our quartz fiber cables. All 4 quartz fiber cables. And now we just need a steel plate, 4 steel plates actually. So let's go get the 4 steel plates. We'll make our very first drive bay, allowing us to then get hard drives to stuff into it and use. Where is circuit? That's the last thing I gotta grab. One of those. Ender at 1. 4 ingots in there. The interesting thing as well is I don't think any of the drives, storage components, require a single other processor. Like, I guess the formation cores and stuff are going to require that, which we'll need to make those in the future, but as for right now, it's not very necessary to make the drives. Oh, forgot to pull out our things. And this will be our first drive bay, one of many that we'll be making. We will have to make a couple other components. I wanted to show making this, because this, and then if we can at least get one of the drives made up, I can do a lot more of making drives off camera. So that we can have full drive sets ready when we start doing the power acceptor and everything else. Where is that drive again? So for the drive bay, we need our quartz glass. We need 4 steel plates, a circuit, and some fine red alloy wire. Which it looks like we got that in there. Let's go ahead and grab these, toss this in there. We'll grab out some more of the Certus quartz dust. Or that's nether quartz. Where's the Certus quartz? We'll wash this really quick though, because I don't want to be putting the sparkly one in there. So we got that. We will get out 1, 2, 3 more of those. So we can do our Certus glass. We need a Certus quartz plate, which we can do by putting one of these in a compressor. And does this work out? It does. Okay. And then to make the rest of the drive bay, we just need 4 steel plates. And that wire. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a circuit. There's that circuit. 4 steel plates are right there. Our nether quartz. That's not right. We want Certus quartz. Why was I thinking nether quartz plate? And then we will also need a circuit with the CPU chip. So, like I said, we are getting a ton of these ready. And we'll get this basic circuit as well out. So it looks like this is going to be a very hungry, circuit-hungry item to do. But if we go 1, 2, And our CPU chip, that'll be that. This should be done getting us the drive right there. Oh, we need our red alloy. So we'll just go ahead and do the 3 on the bottom, 1 on top. 1, 2, 2, and our basic circuit. And now with this, we can just combine them straight up in a canner. So let's go ahead. That's not the canner. Where's the canner? Somewhere over here. Canner? Ender. Ooh. I am staring at all these items, and for all I care, they look exactly the same, so I'm so confused. There is our very first drive to fit in the drive bay. And I am thinking about putting it... So not only did I expand the downstairs, but we've now made an upstairs. And I'm thinking about doing all of the storage drives up here, and then using this hole to be able to pipe it in and out from down below. So we're going to place that there, and place our very first drive in its spot. Now, of course, I would fall down the hole that I show you. Why wouldn't I? We're going to go ahead and dump this back into here for now. The last one I wanted to look at, because I think we were ready to start making these microprocessors, which will start cheapening stuff even more, and unless... Let's look at that recipe for the 1K drives again. That does require just an LV circuit, doesn't matter what type. So we can use some microprocessors, which will let us start using our plastic circuit boards, which I think all of them are over here. So we'll need our plastic circuit boards. Plastic boards. CPU chip. Resistors, capacitors, transistors, and fine copper wire. So we got our transistors. Where did I put the... Maybe the capacitors are over there. Let's go grab out some copper, though. Which is the thing that I've been searching for, and the 2 veins that I ended up mining out, by the way, those were completely empty. There's our transistors. Oh, nope. Okay, hold on. Resistors. I know I have some of those. Resist. Try this one more time. Capacitors. That's what I'm looking for. Capacitor. Right there in front of my face, you know. Okay, so take those out. Put in the boards, the good circuits, the resistor, capacitor, transistor, and once this is out, our fine copper wire. Boom. That's why we can't do that. So next time we will do that with our HV circuits. Ooh boy, MV. Circuit assembler. Next time we'll make them. How about that? Which means it won't be long before I do that. Because I am not using a ton of material to just go down the drain. But with that, we'll be able to start making drives, filling them up, and getting them prepared for use of mass storage. The only other thing I realize is we're probably going to want energy acceptor down there too, because I don't really want to pipe power all the way up here. There you guys have it, the very start of an AE system, as well as getting super tanks online so that we can use those to store our fluids and keep our machines running. And pretty soon, once that AE system is piped up, I can then be able to pipe directly into those pumps and pipe out to where I need to, making it to where all of these machines will stay automatically set up to keep doing the things they're going to do. And I'll probably be expanding out that upper base to be able to move all of these machines upstairs and wire them up as needed through those machines. Thank you guys for watching here, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!